tale of double talk. We are Double Talk. I'm Michael Mandel.
I'm Mark Steffen.
You are?
Thanks for joining us today.
You're Mark Steffen? You're an alien. In fact, I see the Border Patrol are knocking on the door right now.
And you're not?
No, I was born in these parts.
Well, anyway, welcome. This is our Halloween show.
I'm projecting my voice into this voiceless thing. I thought you were Bob Dylan. You look a little like Bob Dylan.
Well,
no. Halloween show. It's good to see you.
Thanks. It's good to be seen.
You should get some sun.
Well, you know, we aliens don't get a lot of sun.
Well, why don't you move closer to Venus or Mercury, and you'll have plenty of sun.
That's
you get
true.
a nice rosy glow. You'd be the same color as our little tablecloth here, and that'd be cool.
Well, you know, it's amazing how clear my voice is with a mask over my face.
It is?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Well, because...
You're projecting. Oh, my God. It's not Bob Dylan.
I'll put that right there.
Didn't that guy come over to your house in the old days? The alien? Is that the face that you said you took his face off?
Well, it's his relative.
He lost his face? It's his relative?
Yes.
But you love alien. You know, so Halloween, all these skulls, but an alien also is Halloween. I don't get it. Aliens...
Well, spooky.
It's
masks.
spooky.
That's what
It's
all
spooky.
about, right?
Well, I guess. If you're an alien, I guess you're...
Ooh.
Oh.
No, that's much scarier.
Oh, I don't know. Well, you know, if I had that mask, I wouldn't have to shave. It would save a lot of trouble.
Me.
You didn't shave anyway. So we're here for Halloween. You know, I find it comical that Halloween and the election season take place at the same time.
What is all that?
It seems scary, you know. They're all scary. We have people who may be coming from other planets. You know, if you don't vote for the incumbents, you could be getting an alien.
Oh, the horror.
Is that true? The horror.
Well, you know, this is the season. You know, this is the Las Cruces channel, Channel 98. And we're going to be showing a lot of freaky films coming up in the near future.
This channel will be.
This channel will be.
You know, I know it's not quite finger food, but it was handy. So, yeah.
Handy.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm glad. I like the way you palmed that.
Anyway,
But
you were talking about.
Is that digital?
Yes. It's not a log. Oh, there we go. So, you know, zombies are an interesting breed, don't you think? I mean, an interesting breed of people. Where do they come from?
Nobody knows.
Yeah, you just get bit. It's like having a girlfriend who turns you into an alien being with no life of your own. She gives you a kiss. You become a zombie.
You become someone who doesn't drop their underwear on the floor all the time.
But people have been known to maybe turn into zombies. Wasn't there this guy this week in Grants? You want to tell us about that? He was beaten up.
His friend, who
Yes.
was drunk on his ass and maybe more than
Grants.
drunk.
In Grants.
In Grants.
We know where that is. That's,
I was in Grants a couple years ago. And there's
nothing else to do except kill zombies there.
The only industry left in Grants is the women's prison.
Boy, which means it's a good place for meth, I would guess. So you think your friend is turning into a zombie?
Yeah, so what do? You
How
have
would
to
you
kill
do?
him.
Beat him up. This
Before
guy
he
was
turns
beaten
into a
by
zombie.
what? By a microwave, and he was hit by something else.
First he beat him up, he hit him with stuff, he smashed his head in with a microwave oven. And that basically killed him.
And I guess that's how you do kill a zombie. You have to kill their
Kill
head.
the head.
But this guy is still alive because he just lost his rear end. He lost his ass because he was over at Ruidoso gambling. And that's what happens. You lose all your money. There you are. But even in the Monty Python movie, the guy didn't lose that many things. Remember, he lost his arm, lost his legs. He says, "Come here, I'll bite you."
Oh, that's right.
This guy still.
Well, you know, we had zombies last week downtown. There was a zombie horde. They released them from the pen, and
the zombie pen?
They shambled down Main Street.
You
I was there for it.
You got some snacks too.
We got some
brought back.
Yes, that's what's left.
Yes.
we
Do we have video of that?
Well, we do.
But you don't want to show it because it's scary. Do we have to put a warning for little children? This is PG-3. Is it? Because you have to be 3 years old.
You have to be 3 years old to watch it?
Yeah.
Well, there were little kids down there lining the streets that night.
I bet the little kids were.
Let's look at that
PG
footage
too.
if we have it.
Do you think we have it? Look at these guys. They're our little friends. Look at that guy. Look over there. A spider. Spider.
I'm not sure that's a spider. It could be it looks like
mite.
Looks like something came off Arnold Schwarzenegger's toilet seat.
That's not what you're looking for. Well, yes. Don't get so curvy.
Oh,
so there's a zombie cop. You know, we do have our own zombie walk. Those of you who like to get into different things, you know, they're fun because you're actually doing something. When we were over at the Comic-Con, people were in costumes. It's exciting to parade and be outside of your own self. I remember being a pirate down in New Orleans for the pirate convention. It was really exciting. Here, of course, nobody wants anybody to lift their top because they're pretty disgusting.
Well, zombie chest is not a pretty thing.
Yes. You know, the play Sweeney Todd that's going on now at Black Box, which we'll mention later.
Yes.
The cast pretty much looks like that.
Well, they do.
They do. It's really good and creepy.
Ghoulish makeup.
Yes. Oh, we're there too. Oh, look, we're in the little thing. Anybody we know? I hope not. There's a clown zombie.
Clown zombies. Two of the scariest things. Clowns.
Clowns are the scariest thing. You want to kill them anyway.
A zombie.
There's some guy with eyebrow sunglasses. What else? Where's the sound effects? No sound effects? I think I was in my English class. I was always a little nervous about handing papers back. You're going to take a bite out of it. That can be dangerous.
So anyway, this is the last weekend down in town.
This is Las Cruces. So if
Zombie
you missed
walk.
it this year and you want to get a kiss from a girl with lovely lipstick on her lips, why can't zombies do lipstick correctly?
Well, see, Las Cruces has lost, half a dozen events that we're used to having downtown. The Enchilada Fiesta, the Boarding Book Festival.
But now we have the zombie walk.
But we do have the zombie walk. And for that reason, the streets were lined with thousands of people to see this.
People want a good reason to get out.
That's right.
I think this is done by Main Street Las Cruces, a group that's trying to get things together. They don't really make any money doing this, but of course, you wouldn't want to take any money from anybody there.
There was an alien. Look, alien zombies.
Aliens. Who is that guy? What is that? Space zombie theme? Now, there's somebody who is trying to get into dental school.
Zombies give good face.
There's a lot of work being a zombie. You have to bounce from one leg. You know, to me, that's the same as the Texas two-step.
Right.
That's what you do, except you just keep going forward because, of course, you don't have a partner.
You're in constant search of brains.
Right? Who isn't? Well, one place you couldn't find brains this week, Republican debate.
Oh, well. We'll talk about that later, too.
We're going to talk about that later? Is this going to go on for another 5 minutes? Or
I don't know.
How much do we spend on this? We got to get our money's worth.
That's right. We went to all the trouble to shoot this footage.
That's true.
Now, there's a new series. Speaking of scary footage,
yes.
Here on the Las Cruces channel, there will be a new series.
Do tell.
Of scary stories called the Crypt Keepers.
The Creepy Keepers?
Crypt Keepers.
Creepy Keepers.
Right, Sahara.
Just never lived.
I
created it. I made it with my own hands.
Is that what it's going to look like? So we're really keeping with the theme of Halloween. Starting a new series on TV that is just... Oh, there's a guy. There's that clown. You know? What they should have is kindergarten teachers. Those are the ones.
Okay, lunch ladies, they're pretty scary.
Lunch lady. Is that Sahara? Which one's Sahara? It's a spider.
And, you know, Sahara is coming back.
Yes.
Remember her a couple of years ago? She was the host of the late night scary movies. And she will be back in the host seat reigning the Crypt Keepers show.
And she didn't dye her hair, but she just dyed and still has the same hair. And she'll be scary.
So that's going on.
What a name.
And she'll have a new co-host.
Really?
Yet to be revealed. I'm not saying it's me.
Is it a young... Who is it?
I'm not saying it's me.
Who is it?
But films like Todd Brownie's Freaks might be shown.
In black and white?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
beautiful black and white.
So those of you
That's
who
a
have
classic.
color TV, you're going to have to turn it to black and white. Oh, this is the... If you remember Freaks, this was actual people from circuses. This has no CGI. These people actually look like this.
Oh, yes.
And walk like that. That guy has total constipation.
No, he's like the zombie. You know, he's missing his
He's
bottom
missing
half.
his bottom half. He's just got. You just put him over the toilet. It goes straight down.
Yeah, there's other films coming out. All the creepy, scary films.
Is this it?
I recommend Freaks. Freaks is a classic of the horror genre.
It's
it kind of occupies its own strange
Todd Browning.
niche.
It started a niche, didn't it? Weird, creepy things, and then people tried to do other things. They did a remake of it, didn't they? I believe they did, and it wasn't very good. Because I mean, creepiness. Nosferatu is playing tonight at the Fountain Theater. If you remember.
The original one or the remake?
The original with the guy with the amazing fingers.
Max Schreck.
Oh man, that's so creepy. So tonight at, I believe, let's say 10:30. It might be 10:45, but it's, let's say 10:30 at the Fountain Theater. If you want to see one of the ultimate premium.
One of the great silent films.
Yes. What did you say? We were going to do this show as a silent film.
It couldn't hurt.
Make it better.
And,
Oh, we're still on our Halloween show.
Yeah. Now, speaking of...
What were we speaking of?
Speaking of horror...
Yes, what else you got there?
Well,
Zombie died.
We've got...
This is time to... if you want to see zombies, get in line to vote. Voting is this Tuesday. I don't think you can do any early voting anymore.
No, today's the last day. Today's the last day for early voting till 6 o'clock tonight over at the...
City Hall you can do it at.
City Hall. You also
City Hall's pretty good.
At the
library?
county
offices.
building on Motel Boulevard.
After that, there are not that many voting. It's not as many voting places as there are during
right.
even years.
It's a city vote.
Yeah.
And a couple of judges. So if you don't get there by today,
voted. You have at least if you don't have a city council person running in your neighborhood, then you basically have the vote for the mayor. And the vote for a judge. And
if you don't vote by today, you have to wait till November 3rd.
The mayor's platform is getting very exciting. Apparently, in the paper on Thursday, it talked about how Ken Miyagishima has had more money in the race. Mm-hmm. But according to the paper also, Miguel Silva has like $40,000 of outside money from an El Paso real estate company.
He's got PAC money, right?
He's got PAC money, $45,000, which would actually double his budget.
Well,
and everybody's been getting robocalls. They've been getting robocalls. Some of them do them as talking about taking a survey or finding out who you're going to vote for. Once you tell them, they will tell you that Ken Miyagishima has another job. Well, so does Miguel Silva, and so does that other lady.
Well, working on the city council is a part-time job. It doesn't pay very much.
Shouldn't take your whole time. You do your research. You do a lot of work. I know Sharon Thomas, when she was a city councilor, she did a lot of meetings. She did a lot of research.
Sure.
And when you say Ken Miyagishima has another job, it's insurance sales.
It was an insurance company.
He's already sold most of the policies that he's getting money from. Oh, and he owns apartment buildings. He doesn't have to do anything. He's kind
of like you.
He's a manager. Yeah, I don't do much. He's got people doing his work for him, so he's got plenty of time to be the mayoral person. In fact, he was at least two things I was at last week, trying to.
Well, most city council people are on other committees as well.
They are on other committees. Ken is probably on lots of things. Miguel is on lots of committees. He does work. Miguel used to own Silva Sanitation. He sold it about, I think, 10 years ago when he went back to school to to get his master's degree in English.
So these are the three people running for the mayor of Las Cruces right now.
Ortega, is that the middle one? See, neither of us know that, and possibly you don't either. So
I did see the debate on Channel 22 last week.
Did you?
Yes.
I saw...
Which actually was helpful because it helped me decide who to vote for.
I saw the three of them at a forum. It helped you decide who to vote for?
Yes, it did.
Really? You're not voting in.
Help me decide who not to vote for. I'll put it that way.
Oh, okay. We'll discuss this later, I guess.
Yeah, well, see, I'm one that believes in the secret ballot.
The secret ballot?
Yes.
What is that? Is that why you're in the Society of Martians and Aliens? Because it's secret? You like secrecy.
Well,
you're free to vote for whoever you want.
You don't,
and you don't have to tell
You don't
anybody.
believe in the secret ballot?
I don't like calling it that.
Well, that's what it is.
Yeah, well, that seems like you're blackballing somebody.
No, it's not. Well, it's nobody's business who you vote for.
Do you realize whoever you vote for, you're disappointing the other person? So you're really hurting somebody. Don't you feel bad about that?
Not at all. Not if the person I don't want.
Oh well, never shake their hands again, will you?
Are you gonna feel bad when
Hillary doesn't get in?
When Ted Cruz doesn't get your vote?
No.
Well, he will.
He will. He feels bad no matter what.
Yeah,
the guy was pushed into a job
he was
that
born
he
angry.
didn't want. It's amazing. You know, I love. Are we going to ever talk about other stuff? Probably not.
Sure.
But people who are running for the Senate and the House of Representatives are anti-government. How do you get somebody in government if you're against the organization you're from? That's like getting somebody to work for.
That's like saying I'm a comedian, but I hate comedy.
Yes. We saw somebody like that the other day, didn't we?
Too many of them.
We did.
Yes.
But you know, you got to be able to understand government. Everybody on the debate was talking about. They're just throwing out numbers about what taxes should be: 10%, 15%. No other things. You know, you should be able to file your taxes on a postcard. You know, a lot of people have other things that are deductible, that they use for other purposes. The reason that taxes are so complex is because your life is complex. Maybe not yours, but other people's lives are kind of complex, and you need to have...
Do we need 40,000 pages of a tax code?
You're not going to read the tax code. Most of it is just to figure out what to do if you've done something wrong. Pages of tax code really filter down into the form you fill out. If you go online and do your taxes on H&R Block or taxact.com, it walks you through every step. You answer simple questions. But there's a lot of things that happen. People buy second houses. You can take your second house off your taxes. You can buy a boat and it means something. All these things have consequences.
Plus then you have a business, you can write advertising off.
You write everything off.
All your business expenses are
you trying to sell advertising here? All of your expenses in a business are deductible. You pay your staff, right?
Sure.
That's cost of doing business.
That's right.
Are we on to our next topic here? This guy wants to run. In fact, he's on the ballot for, I think, District 4?
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Yes. And that's around Picacho and North Valley Drive. Gilbert Vasquez.
People say that everybody in Washington, D.C., that all politicians are crooks. And this guy...
Well, he used to be a criminal.
Actually was an
avowed criminal. He's a known felon. He's running for City Council, District 4.
The last time he was arrested was, I think it says 2009, maybe that's what it said. But you're not allowed to have been arrested for anything in the most recent 10 years. So he's going to have to wait a little while before.
Well, no. Once you've committed a felony.
Well, I think.
And then you were arrested again and charged, even if it's a misdemeanor, you're not allowed to run for office.
But it has to be in the last
15 years.
This is why you have large legal codes and tax codes, because there are all these rules that maybe are there to protect ourselves. And if we do say that the government is full of crooks, wouldn't he be the perfect guy?
Well, at least he's not a tax cheat.
We try to keep. I know the tax cheats are much more sophisticated.
And
you can't just beat somebody up or kill a zombie to get into office. You actually have to be smart enough to get into office.
So he served time in jail. He was convicted of a felony and arrested for numerous other crimes. But he's reformed his life. He's turned his life around. He says
the last 6 years.
He works at Johnston's Hardware, and he wants to run for city council. Unfortunately, being a convicted felon, he needs the governor's pardon to allow him to assume office should he win in the election.
Which is kind of why they make laws, so you don't have personal things getting involved into it. I mean, I think to be away from having done any crimes for 10 years, I know that 6 years is an easy thing to do. 6 years, but those last 4 years, you're just so tempted to.
When was your last crime?
that was on a secret ballot.
Oh,
Yes.
well, so, and the governor has said, no, she will not pardon him. He does not qualify for the special dispensation that she could give him because of his arrests after his felony conviction.
I don't know how our pictures are organized, but Diana Duran, she was actually a politician. She was in the government, and she just resigned, and they've hit her with a number. It's sad, in a way, that a number of the things that she did wrong was gamble and lose and use money from her campaign funds.
Right, which you can't do.
Which you can't do. But I think it's sadder that she needs to be a gambler.
Well, she has a gambling problem, obviously.
Yes, a gambling problem is sad. I mean, to be in a position that you have responsibility for money and then go ahead and not understand. Well, not understand that gambling is tilted against you. You can't win any gambling thing. You could win one day and you could win a couple of days, but ultimately the house wins.
Well, isn't politics a big gamble? Sure it is.
How so?
Well, you're betting that some people will vote for you more than
that's true.
Those who don't.
But you know why it's not a gamble? Because you have a 4,000-page thing that tells you what to do. So you're not necessarily gambling. You're trying to figure out all the possibilities and making contingency rules for any possible thing that could go wrong.
Is that what you're doing?
That's what the government does. The government has to plan on the fact that levees are going to break in South Carolina. They didn't figure that out because they don't give money to certain things. The government has to give money to fix the failing infrastructure.
Which they're not doing a very good job of. It's crumbling around us as we speak.
Well, because the government has been voting it down because they don't want to tax us too much.
Well, so Diana Duran is on her way out. She has resigned under pressure.
She's not on her way out. She's out.
Well, she is out, but she was able to keep her retirement.
That was a deal she made.
And she doesn't have to go to jail.
And that's what you need, really. So she can cruise. She can get her retirement, go gambling in her retirement.
Right. Now, also
that's what people do in retirement.
Well, coming up November 1st, you can, if you haven't already signed up for the Affordable Care Act, you may now do that, also known as Obamacare. So if you haven't signed up for it...
More popularly known as Obamacare,
right.
Or unpopularly known.
And so sign up for it if you haven't starting November 1st.
What's your opinion about Obamacare? Or affordable ACA?
Well, if it allows people to get insurance who haven't been able to get it in the past, I think it's a good thing. If it's costing employers
to fire
more than they can stand to pay, well, then maybe it's not such a good thing.
Well, employers already have to worry about minimum wage.
Which is going to be going up.
You know, I was thinking about the fact that we no longer have the types of jobs that used to pay a lot, which was working on automobile lines. A lot of manufacturing.
Assembly lines,
yes.
Manufacturing.
Those jobs went away. But one of the ideas of all the car companies was, or in Henry Ford's words, pay your workers enough that they could buy your product. Right. When you hire people for McDonald's, unfortunately, it's so cheap, anybody could buy it. But those are the workers who are taking the place of factory workers. The fast food, the people working at Walmart.
Well, now you have all these places.
Call operators.
Ford makes the Ford Focus down in Hermosillo, Mexico, and the people who work on the assembly line there can't afford to buy that car.
No, they can't.
All these maquiladoras that you see down in Juarez, those people can't afford to buy the television sets and the DVD players that they make.
That's so sad. But they can't afford to eat.
The people in China who make the Apple computers can't afford to buy one.
What about Samsung?
In Korea?
Can you buy...
South Korea, yes.
Can you buy Dells? I mean, not everybody can afford an Apple computer because, they're very pricey.
Yes.
So, but they do sell those little tablets for $100. Oh, hot dogs.
Oh, yeah, that came out of the news this week that processed meats like hot dogs.
This is unprocessed.
That's true.
Unless you call cutting the...
Well, that's good for you.
It is. It's pure.
But hot dogs, bacon, lunch meat, all these things that are infused with sodium nitrite and other preservatives, plus they're high fat, are cancer-causing. We've known that for 30 years.
But we've known that sodium nitrate or sodium nitrite is what is a cancer,
carcinogen.
Carcinogenic. What's interesting is the story written for the Sun News was written by a guy named John Bacon.
Yes, well,
John Bacon. Bacon is great. Would you say that bacon without preservatives, which they sell,
I eat turkey bacon that's not cured. There's no sodium nitrite.
But if you don't
it's
cure
delicious, and it's not particle meat like Oscar Mayer makes.
But not pig. If you eat pig, that in fact is not necessarily a carcinogen.
No.
So you could theoretically eat an uncured bacon.
Read the ingredients. Get uncured bacon that has no sodium nitrite. And you'll be much
usually
better
have
off.
that at where? Toucan?
I get it at the Natural Grocers.
Natural Grocers. Toucan probably.
Mountain View Market has it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And now,
hot dogs are so good, but
speaking of raw meat,
National is supposed to be pretty good.
I see. I bet it's got
raw
sodium
meat.
nitrite. Speaking of raw meat, Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, closes this weekend. There's one show tonight, and there's one tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
2:30.
2:30 at the Black Box Theater.
What was my view on it? Shall I repeat it?
Did you like it?
I loved it. It was great. The woman who plays Mrs. Lovett is played by Angela Lansbury in the movie, but in the play, it's equally good. And also the Sweeney is great. All the supporting characters are really good. The line of extras are wonderful. It's scary. It's really scary.
People get their throats slit, and then they turn into meat pies. There, I've blown it for you.
Oh, you just blew it. You know,
Spoiler
you wouldn't
alert.
find that out until after the.
You saw the movie with Johnny Depp anyway.
Johnny Depp. You know, this I would say was more of an experience than watching. Certainly more than watching the movie. So it was a lot better.
Right. Also coming up is the Renaissance Fair that the Doniana Arts Council puts on. That's coming up in about
Next
a week or so.
What's or so? Like in the middle of the week? It's coming up on Saturday.
Next week.
Saturday.
That'll be fun. Saturday and Sunday. You don't want to miss that. That's a major fundraising
thing for the Doniana Arts
Council.
But also tonight there is an opera at the Rio Grande Theater.
Yeah, scary opera.
Scary opera.
And
what
at the Fountain Theater is the Robert Redford, Nick Nolte movie.
Oh my God!
A Walk in the Woods.
It actually looks funny.
And that's what's going on around Las Cruces.
So, boo.
Tonight is Halloween. So,
are
you going trick or treating? Going to a Halloween party? What are you going to do?
Trying to avoid trick or treating.
Trick or treat?
I'll do trunk or treat. Do you see that? You can do a trunk or treating in some parking lot where the people open up the back trunks of their car and give out candy there.
It's kind of like a tailgating party.
Yeah, it is.
For ghouls and goblins.
It's for people who don't trust their neighbors knocking on their door and going to sex offenders.
Well, we're about out of time, Mike.
So we can't offend anybody anymore.
We did this show without commercials today. It's our Halloween special show.
We did do commercials for our own
and,
TV station.
Unfortunately, this week, Lita Lujan was not able to do my hair, but I did it myself.
Oh my God, Lita, come back.
I know it. Over there at Jen's Barber Spa.
And
but hopefully
we will
next
see
week,
you guys.
She'll do my hair, I hope, next week.
When we'll see you guys.
So we're out of here.
So
Goodbye,
long.
folks. Happy Halloween.
Toodly-doo. What was that?
Oh, I should put this back on.
It was dark.
Why?
The moon was high. I was walking along, holding hands with my guy, when all of a sudden his breath became quick. His eyes